when you wake up every day, bro, like not every day is just gonna be glitz and glamour, silver and gold. Like you're gonna have hard times, but I believe taking every step forward and just getting up no matter what goes on in your life, that's living a simply marvelous lifestyle.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Never Waste Talent. And today we have a special guest here with us. He's someone who shows leadership and education and student support, helping students navigate academic success, as well as personal development. You know what I mean? And he's also an established DJ who has collaborated with high-profile corporations such as like Foot Locker and New Balance as well, and many more. And I've known him for quite some time now. And ever since I've known him, you know what I mean, he always lived the life of the words, as he would say, simply marvelous. Y'all please welcome Mr. DJ Shurn.
I like that. Appreciate that, bro.
For sure.
How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Appreciate you coming.
Absolutely, man. I had to come, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So what's new with you, man? What's been going on?
Man, well, it's April. Just definitely, I just finished Ramadan, so that's a blessing. I'm definitely proud of myself. This is the 5th year that I've celebrated Ramadan. This year, I felt like I checked every box.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also like back physically active, so that's definitely a blessing. But other than that, man, just trying to continually grow within the education sector, but also like enhance my skills in the DJ sector as well.
For sure. And what about like mentally? You know what I mean? How you been feeling?
Oh, mentally, I'm simply marvelous, bro. I don't only say those words just to say it. It's kind of a lifestyle to me. When you wake up every day, bro, like not every day is just gonna be glitz and glamour, silver and gold. Like you're gonna have hard times, but I believe taking every step forward and just getting up no matter what goes on in your life, that's living a simply marvelous lifestyle. Because we gonna have roadblocks, we gonna have trials and tribulations, but staying positive and continuing to fight that's what I believe in. So no matter what I'm going through, like I won't allow it to shake me or break me. If that makes sense.
No, I feel that. So you speak on lifestyle, and you talk about Ramadan. Like how did that start for you? Like what made you want to get into that?
Honestly, man, so not growing up with my father, one thing I did know about him for sure is that he believed in the Islam faith, and he's been a Muslim all my life. My mom was a Christian, so growing up, I was able to kind of get shades of both sides, both religions. But I think I took a liking to Islam and just trying to not only build a relationship with my father, we just started building our relationship like at the age of 29. We started playing chess, and then from there I just started building. But as I started reading more and informing myself, I think the faith of Islam, it kind of like resonated with how I live life. You know what I mean? I feel like there's nothing wrong with Christianity. I still study Christianity and still live away as well. But for me, I think I'm in a space where Islam kind of touched me and helped me grow as a man. You know what I mean? I think my experiences within the Baptist church and things of that nature, it's pretty much you go, you do worship, you hit a word and things of that nature, but you very seldomly get them lessons of life and how to build and, you know what I'm saying, how to overcome your emotions and things of that nature. So studying Islam, it kind of helped me overcome those lessons in life. And I'm still growing. So for those of you who are out there, I know it's jokes all the time. I get, jokes from the guys and things of that nature, but nobody's perfect at the end of the day. So we still regular people. We just really just trying to figure out life, bro, and walk the steps of God, to be honest with you.
Yeah, every day getting better and improving. So, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So, real quick, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know you are a DJ, but just tell the little people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah,
like where you from and obviously what you do for a living.
Okay, well, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Milan DJ Shurn, last name Shurney. born and raised here in the city of Chicago. I grew up on the east side specifically, 75th and Essex. Um, Growing up, I grew up with my mom's single mother household, two brothers, one sister. My sister is the oldest. Growing up, I was involved in a lot of like sports programs growing up, basketball, football. I played golf and I was an avid swimmer as well, which is funny. You very seldomly see black people swimming, but you know,
facts.
it was one of those things I fell in love with. I always loved the water. I attended Longwood Academy High School. It's a charter high school under the Chicago International Charter School umbrella. From there, I graduated in 2009. I started my undergraduate journey at Lincoln College, which is where me and you met. That was a dope experience. I feel like most of my like strong, legit friendships that I have, they started at Lincoln. Me and bro been locked in for a while. And then from there, we split ways after we got our associates. You went to Eastern, I ended up going to Illinois State. Stayed at Illinois State for a year. Then I went back to Lincoln the 4-year, got my bachelor's in sports management. And my journey in education, it began in 2016. After I graduated, I got a call from a football coach of mine. And he has always been within the education sector. He was basically executive director of schools, and he took over some schools in Louisiana, Baton Rouge to be exact.
Okay.
So after graduation, I was still working in hospitality, working at the Marriott during the time. And I don't know, man, I kind of just felt stuck. And then I seen all my friends, they were graduating, they were leaving Normal, Illinois. And then I just got to the point, I'm like, I need to figure something out. So reached out to my network. He called, he had opportunity. My first job was an assistant dean of students. It was kind of like intern style. You were still doing work. I did a lot of administrative work, but I was still learning as well. So as an assistant dean, I pretty much, that helped build my communication skills. I feel like I've always been good at it, especially with customer service and things of that nature. But I think I got better when I began to work with high school students. And coming from Chicago, going to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it was such a culture shock. It made me more humble, and it made me realize that no matter what you're going through, it's people that could be potentially going through worse. So that being there for 2 years, it kind of humbled me. And it also made me realize how in Chicago, we just really don't communicate with each other. Like,
no, you right about that.
You know what I mean? Like
when
you growing up, it shows. We can be walking down the street and you could walk past somebody, we won't say nothing to each other, things of that nature. But when I was in Louisiana, man, it was just like a whole different experience. Like once my coworkers and people within my network in Baton Rouge found that I was in Louisiana by myself, like they would invite me to their homes. Like I had people invite me to their homes to cook for me and things of that nature. I remember when I couldn't come home for the holidays because I was coaching boys basketball, and we had like Thanksgiving tournament, Christmas tournament, so I couldn't come back to Chicago. And like my head coach who I was working under, he like invited me to his house, and you know, they showed a lot of love. And when I came back to Chicago in 2018, man, I definitely was a different person. Like it just made me appreciate life more. It made me stop complaining about minute things. And it just made me want to grow and elevate, but also it made me want to continue to provide a service to my people and the students within my neighborhood. So 2018, I decided to, you know, resign from that job. I'm not gonna lie, I was missing home, man. The food was terrible down there.
For real?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Louisiana, but I mean, when I went, it wasn't terrible. But I mean, of course, it ain't Chicago. But
yeah. So I'll elaborate because I don't want nobody to beat me up.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I would say in Baton Rouge, more of mom and pop shops. Like you can go in the gas station and get like a full like breakfast. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. I think for me, I just got tired of the rice. Like all they dishes came with rice, like etouffee, rice and gravy, rice and beans. Like it just became too much. But when I got those chances to travel to New Orleans on the weekends, it was a whole different experience.
Yeah.
So my Louisiana people, man, I love y'all. Don't get me, man. But yeah, I was just missing the city, bro. Missing Chicago, missing my family, missing my people, being able to just pull up to my brother crib and watch a basketball game, hang out with him, waking up in the morning, having coffee with my mom, things of that nature. It was really the small things I was missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as far as community, I definitely had that in Baton Rouge. Some days I'd be like, what if I would have stuck it out? But I try not to dwell on the past as much. I continue to keep moving forward. But make a long story short, came back to Chicago 2018. I started teaching physical education and health at Avalon Middle on the east side, 84th and Greenwood.
Mm-hmm.
I taught physical education for a year. From there, got promoted back into the dean of students role. I ended up at Basil Middle School in Inglewood, and I stayed in Inglewood for 5 years. That was definitely a great experience. Met a lot of people in the Inglewood community. As bad as it may seem, I know the news try and promote Inglewood as just like this gruesome place.
Yeah.
But for me, not being from there and working in that neighborhood for 5 years, it was nothing but community. You seen people there actually putting in the work. You met individuals within the community that actually wanted to build and provide more tools and resources and things of that nature. So definitely shout out to my Inglewood people, man. Inglewood, they show a lot of love. After my 5 years there, I just wanted to kind of elevate. You know how when you get like comfortable, I felt like my day-to-day, it was the same. I started getting a little stressed and things of that nature. I wanted to elevate in my career, and the space I was in, they didn't really have that many opportunities. When you're so good at one thing, it's like sometimes people want to kind of keep you in that box.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't want to provide opportunities, but they kind of fear that if they move you in another space, then they may fall short in the space that you've been soaring in.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I ended up at Great Lakes Academy in 2022. Great experience there. I learned a lot. When you want to elevate, you're not always ready. So I realized like in that space, I still had a lot to learn in regards to leadership. Managing others is tough. I feel like I do well with reading people and reading cues, but when it comes to managing and delegating, that's something you have to continuously work on. And so I stayed there for a year, and now I'm currently at St. Xavier University in higher ed as a student support specialist, providing different tools and resources for college students. So I'm still going strong in the education sector. Every time I try to leave, or we done had talks, I'll be like, man, bro, I'm tired of this. I want to do something different. I end right back up there. So, maybe it's where I'm supposed to be. Who knows?
Yeah. And you definitely got a lot of experience in it for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. And I want to speak on, obviously when we met at Lincoln, I just want to tell you, keep growing, bro, because
appreciate
when we
that,
met,
man.
you know what I mean? I see the growth in you right now, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
As opposed to when we first met, you know what I mean? Obviously we was younger,
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? You right, but you on the right path, man. You always had the positive energy, but now you seem more wise, more knowledgeable and things like that. So yeah, just keep growing,
Man,
bro.
I appreciate that, bro. You be needing to hear that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
And-
So go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You got it.
No, I was about to say, and so, with that being said, I think with my DJ journey, it started in 2018 when I moved back to the city. I had just moved back. I hadn't seen a lot of people in a while. I got invited to an event at Persona. They're closed now, but it was a space downtown, and I was supporting my buddy Diggs, and he invited me. And so I was there. I was having a good time, but I kind of had a moment when I was kind of hanging out at the bar, and I just got kind of hypnotized by the crowd and just was I just started looking around, and from every song to every pitch to how he blended the songs and how he mixed them, it was the reaction from the people. I was like, wow, they really truly have a true gift. They can take you on memory lane and nostalgia and things of that nature. And I was just like, man, bro, I want to tap in. I've always been a lover of music. I've always been a hip hop head, a person who not only listened to the music, but I always loved the history of the culture and stuff like that. And so, I hit him up and asked him, what steps should I take? And he just offered. He was like, man, if you serious, hit me up. And I followed up, and that's how the journey started. I spent the year and a half inside learning the ins and outs of DJing, learning the basics of it. Then I started practicing on my own at the house, and I think my first gig, Diggs had a gig, and he let me open up for him, and that's how it started from there.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kept going and building.
Yeah, dope. Well, you definitely answered the question that I had as far as like what made you want to get into the DJ. So obviously you was at the bar, you know what I'm saying?
I be thinking too fast.
No, I love it. I love it. But we do want to dive it back a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just speak on like your childhood. You know what I'm saying? How was that like for you? Obviously you said that you ain't really had your father in your life.
Childhood was adventurous, man.
Yeah.
Like you know how now, like we older, we men now, you know, our main focus is like grinding, paying the bills, taking care of the family. Like those are the things we think about on a daily basis, and taking care of the home front. But when I was a kid, I didn't realize that. I wouldn't necessarily say poverty, but I knew we didn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I loved about my mom, she was adventurous. Like she made our childhood adventurous. Like it was never a day where she would allow us to just hang out on the block and just stay there all day hanging out. She was always finding some type of activity. So that's why I try and tell my students today, like, sometimes you can't sit and wait for somebody to give you something. You got to get on the internet and utilize that phone in your hand. You got access to the World Wide Web in the palm of your hands. But make a long story short, we were always doing something. I would go to school on the weekdays. On the weekends, we were in some type of program. And Saturdays, we would wake up and clean up. She would say, get dressed. And then she would like have the bus fare ready for me and my brother. We learned how to navigate around the city, utilizing Chicago Transit Authority. We learned how to get around the city. I literally know the whole city, the infrastructure. I know how to get north, south, west. Wherever I'm going, I know how to get there through public transportation. And I think I had that mastered by the age of 9, because that was like our way of transportation. I think one of my biggest memories from my childhood was a program I was a part of at DePaul University. It was called Black and Hispanic Achievers. And so, you know, you got an opportunity to meet all these different kids from different schools around the city. And we met up at DePaul University every Saturday. And you basically got an opportunity to like visit these different career clusters. Like it'll be a board, like a whiteboard. Our instructor, I think her name was like Miss LaDonna or something like that. And she would like post the career clusters on the board, and we would get a chance to like choose which cluster we wanted to go to that Saturday. And so once we chose our cluster, we'll end up in a group, we'll get on the bus, and we'll like go to that space and learn about that specific career. And then you'll get a chance to like meet somebody that's well established within that career. And so I think that's what kept me, I guess, open-minded to trying new things. And then when it just came to outside, I just felt like my mom provided us that freedom to explore.
Yeah.
So even like growing up on the east side, we from the same generation. So you know how the summertime was. You leave out the house 10 a.m. I grew up in South Shore, so our neighborhood, Chicago Park District, was South Shore, Rainbow Beach to be exact.
Yeah.
So the summer times were amazing. My mom would probably give us $2 to $5, and that $2 to $5 as a kid growing up, that'll last you 2-3 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quarter bag of chips, you get you a juice or something like that. You got snack money that will last throughout the whole day. And man, that basketball is what helped me find community in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You didn't have to succumb to the gang culture or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was never anything I was interested in. I was always adventurous, and most of the guys that I met on my specific block, we all just loved to play basketball. We would literally meet up on the block summer mornings. We would walk to Rainbow, hoop all day long. Noon, 1 o'clock would come. Now we go into the corner store. We'll probably find some girls. We'll sit on a stoop, talk, goof around. Now we back at the courts. And then if we get tired of hooping, we can literally walk right there to the water and hang out on the beach. So that's what my childhood was like, man. I really enjoyed it. My dad, he would come around every once in a while. It's so weird. My mom and dad are weird, bro, because when I was growing up, they never really like argued, or you never really seen like
saying it
anything negative. It was just like your dad's there like go downstairs and see your dad. She wouldn't let him come in the house, which was weird. I never understood that part, but it's like they best friends now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now that we older, they best friends. I play chess with my dad on Sundays when I'm off work. He a cool dude, man. He definitely a cool dude. So I can definitely see how him and my mom feel for each other. But yeah, bro, I appreciate my childhood. My mom was very strict. My older brother was very strict. I had a tight curfew. If I missed my curfew, she'll be like, you can't go out for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how it is growing up. You got to sit in the house in the summertime, bro. That's the worst punishment ever. Nowadays, these kids don't care.
They don't.
They got their iPads. They got everything. But, man, not being able to go outside, that was the worst punishment you can get growing up in the city. Like, for real, for real.
Yeah.
'Cause, man, yeah. But other than that, I loved my childhood, bro. I was a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Too. I always got good grades in school. I think the most challenging subject for me, and you probably know, was science.
Yeah. I ain't know that. I mean, we had that class though, but I ain't know that.
Yeah, science, bro. Science used to kick my behind, bro. It just used to drive me crazy, bro. Them formulas and just understanding like the what is it called? The pie chart?
No, the pie chart, that's like math.
Not pie chart. What's the diagram with all the scientific abbreviations?
Like the PA system?
Yeah.
Like the periodic table?
The periodic table.
Yeah.
That
I think
shit
that,
used to
that's
confuse
science.
me, bro.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, yeah, like I think my top subjects I soared in was definitely English.
Mm-hmm.
And writing probably. And I was a beast in math, but by the time I got to high school and got to geometry and calculus, it was a wrap.
No, that's how it was for me.
That. Algebra was cool though, but geometry and calculus was a beast, bro. I had to get a tutor. I really had to put that work in for that. But yeah, man, that was pretty much my childhood, bro. Most of my friendships during childhood, I think I actually built just through those programs that my mom would put us in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But other than that, it was great. I know it's different now. It's hard for us to get kids to see the fruits of their labor when it comes to just being outdoors. I don't think they understand.
No, they don't.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much my childhood, bro. It was cool.
Nah, you sound like you enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah. So like you speak on obviously you did sports, you know what I mean? Was it just basketball or did you play like other sports as well?
No, I played basketball, football, golf, and I was a swimmer.
Right, yeah, you mentioned the golf and the swimming.
Yeah, so golf, basketball, and football were all throughout middle school. But once I got to high school, basketball and football kind of just took over. I didn't really have time for anything else. During the summertime, I had probably like a month and a half to like do summer basketball tournaments and things of that nature. But once it got to, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I believe once it got to, I think June or July is when summer training started for football. So it was like I was always leaving one sport going into another, if that makes sense. But I think I got the most accolades in football though.
Okay.
I felt like I think football seasons is longer than basketball seasons. Yeah, in high school I think football season was longer because we practiced in the summer. We did 7-on-7 tournaments. Then we had when school year starts, that's August. The football season usually starts in August and then it kind of ends in like November, I believe. Yeah.
So you speak on like obviously growing up on the east side, you know what I'm saying? You see the gang culture. Obviously your guys knew that you played sports. Did you ever feel pressured to like get into the gang culture by them, like personally?
No,
that's
never. Good. I think back then when it came to gang culture, if you had a person that probably was up of age and probably had already experienced the younger years, and I'm sure you've probably experienced this too, they would kind of not necessarily provide a sense of protection, but they would like kind of like continue to stir you on the right path.
For sure, yeah.
And if anyone ever gave you any problems, they would be the first one to step up and say, you know, leave little bro alone and, you know, let him do his thing and things of that nature. So nowadays I can understand why the younger generation kind of lost respect for individuals that are older than them, because when you on the internet, you see guys our age and they still, you know, promoting and representing this gang culture where it's like, you know, none of us should be doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not something to promote. It's not leading us down the right path. You know what I mean? It's only continuing to push us back. And so if people don't wake up, man, we're gonna have a whole generation out here that's just completely lost. And I feel like just from data and just doing a lot of research and studying, we don't have to go too deep into it, but we're almost 2 generations away from young men that lack literacy, writing. If you think about cursive writing, it's a forgotten thing. People don't even write in cursive.
They don't teach that in school like that?
They don't teach it anymore. I like the AI tools and things of that nature, but you have to utilize AI to enhance your skills, not use AI to do the work for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that scared me today. I'm definitely open to new trends and things of that nature, but at the end of the day, you still have to have a base core of knowledge. You have to learn how to. You have to have the skill of reading and comprehending. You have to at least have basic math skills, so you can be able to count your paycheck when you work for it.
Right.
And I would definitely say learn percentages. The stock market, that'll take a little bit more work if you want to get into investments and things of that nature. But definitely when it comes to our younger generation, we have to take heed to basic skills.
No, that's definitely important.
You know what I mean? So that it's scary, bro. That we can have that conversation another day because it's gonna be longer, but it's definitely scary for sure.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So let's pivot. You know what I mean? Obviously, you spoke a little bit about your adulthood. You know what I'm saying? Going to Baton Rouge and, you know, living that life for a little bit and then coming back home in 2018, you said? Yeah, so coming back home and then getting into the DJ and stuff like that. Obviously, the education as well. How has that been for you, like, right now? Like, in this stage?
It's stressful.
Yeah.
You know, some days you feel inspired, you're motivated to do everything, but when you look up and you see how your days are going, sometimes I look up, I'm like, man, bro, I'm tired. Like, and I felt like I've been pushing myself this hard since I was 17. You know what I mean? Even doing, you know, playing sports in high school, I've been pushing myself since I was that age, since a teenager. And, you know, I don't think I've ever taken my foot off the gas. There's a space I would like to be financially. Definitely want to prepare myself for that moment when I meet the right woman, because I definitely want to have a family one day and be able to provide. So those are the things I think about. I think that's why I'm still just trying to go hard. I learned from attempts of failing and things of that nature. It's so many other things I'm working on personally too, like trying to be a better friend, trying to be a better son and things of those nature, and making sure I'm showing up for the people that show up for me. But I would say it's hard balancing, but one thing I've learned over the last 2 years of like taking on all these tasks, being organized is what helped me become better. And I took a break from being physically active, but now that I'm back in the gym, I've realized like how at ease it keeps me. Like it's really therapeutic, and you just feel better about yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely don't want to ever get back to that space of just leaving physical activity on the back end. That's going to be a priority moving forward.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard, but you just got to figure out ways how to maneuver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speak on like physical activity, obviously physical health is important. But you also spoke on like how you've been grinding, going hard since 17.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, well, first let me just ask you like how important, I'm sure it's important to you, mental health.
Yeah.
But the fact that you continuously working hard,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like it's necessary to sometimes take some time off, you know, and get your mental right?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually got a week vacation coming up next week.
Yeah.
So I put some PTO time in, and I basically just get to wake up and do what I want to do, which is a great thing. We can focus on these projects, and I can go to the gym in the morning versus having to push myself to go after work. That's been one of my biggest challenges, like
Going after work.
So I understand how people be like, man, I ain't got it in me. Like yesterday, I had to push myself to go, but yeah, man, like so. You absolutely right. You do got to take that time for yourself. It's important for sure.
Nah, and I ain't really realize it. I mean, you don't realize it until you get older, because like, you know what I mean? In most cases, you're not really taught that, especially like where we from. Obviously, you might have some families that, you know what I'm saying, teach you that, like those type of life lessons, but you kind of like learn it on your own, you know what I'm saying, as you get older, and as you go through your own experiences and trials and tribulations and things like that, you understand like what's really important in life as far as like, you know, what's making you better or what's needed to make you better, for sure. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, you've been doing the DJ thing, you've been doing your thing. Talk about how did you get with Foot Locker and New Balance?
Man, that's a great question. I would definitely say the city of Chicago it's a tough market, and you know that, I know that. No matter what we do, like whether you're trying to be a chef, whether you're trying to start your podcast, whether you're trying to host events in the city, like it's a tough market, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and we have a trend, they call it clout within our culture. So I would say just being a great person, and when I'm out, I know how to open my mouth and speak to people. And I think that's what that lesson from Baton Rouge, like I can walk into a room, and although I'm here to interview for a podcast with you, and I see somebody sitting down, I've learned how to, you speak to everybody in the room. You never act like you're above anyone. And I think for me, just showcasing humility, but just being curious and wanting to meet people and build a network is how I got there. So make a long story short, I'm also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So that's actually one of my biggest networks. One of my fraternity brothers introduced me to another brother from another chapter, and he's actually been working for Foot Locker for about 10 years. He's in the marketing department. His name is Mikey C. Shout out to Mikey C. He's doing a lot of work in the city as well, in the community. And I don't like, when I meet somebody, I don't like just immediately going in and saying, hey, like let's collab and things of that nature. Like I'm more of a person that kind of likes to spark up a genuine connection. So if I meet somebody out and we exchange Instagram pages, like I'll make it my business to go support this person's event, or I'll make it my business to support their work on social media and things of that nature. So that was going back and forth. He was supporting things I was posting. I was supporting things he was posting. Me and my fraternity brother Kendall, we went to an event of his, and I supported. And I seen that they had music and entertainment there. And without me even asking, he just came out of nowhere and said, hey, man, I've seen you been doing your thing, and I've heard a lot of great things about you. And he said, you've been a stand-up guy since I met you. He was like, I may have some opportunities coming in the near future, so I'll definitely stay in touch. And then from there, I got invited to open gym a couple times. We played ball together and things of that nature. So when he initially told me about it, I'm just one of them people, like, if you tell me something, I'm okay, I'm gonna accept it. But if it doesn't happen, it's not gonna upset me, anything of that nature. So when he told me the opportunity, it didn't come to like 6 months to a year later. But all during that time, he was just a good dude. And so we genuinely connected and just kept, conversing and things of that nature. And then eventually the opportunity came. And that one opportunity that I did with Foot Locker led to me working with New Balance. And that connection basically came from Mikey C. And so from there, doing the New Balance, you know, you meet people from these different marketing firms and things of that nature. The marketing firm at the time was Limitless.
Okay.
They do a lot of work with a lot of big brands, not only here, but around the nation, honestly. And so I got an opportunity of like meeting the CEO of that company.
Oh, damn.
And so that was like a really, and that just happened out of nowhere. He was complimenting my setup. Like I like the aesthetic when I set up things. So I like utilize tablecloths and I cover up the speaker stands and things of that nature just to give it like a look of elegance.
Yeah.
And it sparked up a quick conversation. He enjoyed the setup. He enjoyed the music and things of that nature. And man, I get gigs from them all the time. So it's definitely a blessing. And even like a lot of young Black entrepreneurs around the city of Chicago, I've had the opportunity of working with. And that's literally how I got my first residency with Sip and Savor Cafe. They're located in I was about to say the low end. They're located in Bronzeville, but they also have a location at High Park.
Yeah.
They have a location over here in Rogers Park as well, the South Loop. So they've been expanding. The whole Pugh family is amazing, man. Like I've been working with them for almost 4 years now, and they truly are genuine people, and they always are alley-ooping me opportunities. So I would say building that network and just being a genuine person and showing love will definitely get you in a lot of spaces.
No, that's definitely true. And like you always been a genuine person. Like you speak on that, and like you speaking on like the networking spot. Like I feel like networking is definitely important as well. So I mean, obviously you working with those top brands and stuff like that speaks testament to like your growth. Cause like I seen you when you in the crib, you know what I'm saying? Like when you first started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I came to even when you was at the residency at the Hyde Park location, you know what I'm saying? So like I've seen the growth. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
so
that.
So yeah,
man.
just keep going, man. So like, look, before we get out of here though, I do want to ask you, obviously you a well-known DJ in the city. Let me ask you this. If you, it's a 2-part question.
Okay.
So if you could DJ any festival, nationwide, wherever, you know what I'm saying, where will it be? And then if you could add 2 dead or alive DJs to be on your, you know, I don't know if it's like all one set or, you know what I'm saying, if you could add 2 or just none, like, you feel me? Who would it be?
Wow, that's a good one, man. So you might know this. I'm a big fan of Shaquille O'Neal. I love his marketing and things of that nature. So I actually got 2 big festivals, if that's cool.
No, that's cool.
That I dream of all the time. I would love to do like a 45-minute to an hour set at Lollapalooza. That would be so dope. And the theme I would go with, I would probably take my Chicagoans on like a journey. And I will provide like a sense of nostalgia, like all the top Chicago hits. It'll like start at a certain point and then it'll lead up until now a modern time. And then there's this big festival in Dublin. I can't remember the name of the festival, but I seen Shaq perform there before. I've been tapping into like EDM house and mixing it with hip hop and stuff like that. So I would love to do like a big festival internationally. And then I would say 2 DJs who I would love to be on the same bill with. It would have to be DJ Premier. Man, I gotta go with somebody from Chicago. I would say my boy Peasy, Mike P.
Mike P. Okay.
Yeah. I would love to be on the bill with those guys. They have a good sense of crowd control, but they also are like, you can tell when you listen to their mixes and you watch them DJ, they are some music heads. Like when I say from gospel to jazz to old school hip hop, new school hip hop, like they got it all.
Yeah.
And the live instrumentation, you could tell that they in tune with that too. So
for sure,
those are definitely 2 DJs who I would love to be on the same bill on.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. On that note, you know what I mean, I definitely want to appreciate you for sliding.
I appreciate you
know
for
what I
having
mean,
me, bro.
And again, thank you all out there for listening, watching. You know what I mean, tuning in. Anything you care to share before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, man, if you have a dream, Continue to go after it, man. Age it ain't nothing but a number, like Aaliyah said, man. You can work your 9 to 5. It's about them hours you put in after your 9 to 5. You got to build capital, so you can't sit around thinking things are gonna happen. So keep that 9 to 5, man. I don't care what nobody tell you. Build that capital and invest in your dream. And then I would say, if you guys are ever free on the first Friday of the month, man, check out my residency at Turner House Brewery in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Thank y'all for having me.
Where can they follow you
Always a
at?
pleasure, bro. Y'all can follow me Instagram, also on Threads, and you can also follow me on Mixcloud as well. It's basically a platform where DJs can post their mixes. You can follow me at DJ Shurn. Shurn is SHURN. Once again, at DJ Shurn, SHURN.
Dope, man. Well, like I said, man, I appreciate you for coming through.
Man, love, bro.
This is Never Waste Talent. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all subscribe. Of course, stay safe. And most importantly, man, stay out the way, man. Love.
Absolutely.
Love.